What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at this 2024 Audi RS3. This one's finished in turbo blue, has the RS technology package, and an MSRP at $65,600. Now if you like the all-new Audi RS3, my wife and I just bought this. This is our new car and we're going to be featuring it a lot on the YouTube channel. So subscribe and stay tuned for more RS3 content. Underneath the hood of the 2024 Audi RS3, you're going to find a 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 401 horsepower with 369 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to the 7-speed S Tronic dual clutch transmission, sending the power to all four wheels through the Quattro all-wheel drive system, and Car and Driver even tested this car at 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, while Audi states 3.6 seconds. Car and Driver also tested 0 to 100 in 8.4 seconds, quarter mile time at 11.8 seconds at 117 miles per hour, and the sporty sedan even tops out at 155 miles per hour. Curb weight is 3,600 pounds, runs on a 14.5 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 19 miles per gallon in the city with 29 out on the highway. The overall length is 178.8 inches with wheelbase at 103.6. Width is 72.9 and height is 55.6 inches. The 8Y RS3 is also a little unique with a front track width at 62.7 inches and a rear track width at 60 inches. This also features a 14.8 inch front rotor that's drilled and ventilated, has a 6-piston caliper. In back you get a 12.2 inch rotor with single piston calipers. This also has a progressive electromechanical steering system, adaptive suspension with damper control, and torque splitter can be adjusted to be significantly rear-wheel drive biased. And then now moving on to the 8Y Audi RS3. This is the new generation car, a lot more edgy design than the 8V previous generation. We get a really cool set of LED headlights. You can see all the daytime running lights to them, blacked out design fitting very nicely to the grille. You have a massive new grille where the front end definitely is a lot of grille versus bodywork, but you can see the RS3 badge on the left side, Audi logo. The upper and lower section does provide a lot of cooling to the engine and intercoolers. You even have safety sensor down below and parking sensors. The center portion does have a fake design just to tie in this new look. You can see some of the body color on the far side with functional openings to provide a ton of cooling to the extra radiators. You can also see more parking sensors and pretty sharp contours. Now the headlights do play a really cool dance when you lock or unlock the car. You can see all the white coming up and somewhat of a checkered flag on the far corner. So a really cool set of LED headlights. You can also see the body color down below for this aggressive front splitter. Overall, it's a pretty cool looking car. I definitely like the aggressive style to it. It certainly is a pretty mean looking car. Up on the hood, you're going to see some sharp body lines that cut their way towards the windshield just to add to this new aggressive body. Then you can see just how sporty everything comes together. At the side profile, these are the standard wheels. You're going to see a two-tone design finished primarily in gloss black. We also have the light gray as well as a darker gray finish on all of these spokes. Then you can get a better look of these massive 6-piston brake calipers. You get a pretty sharp body line surrounding this front wheel arch, and then a pretty aggressive design for the side skirt and lower portion of the door. This also gets body colored on the door handles and then gloss black on the mirror caps with an integrated LED turn signal, all gloss black trim surrounding the windows just to give it a nice clean design. And then up on top you can see the massive sunroof for the upper portion. You have a black shark fin antenna as well. Then the overall side profile, you can tell this is a shorter and stubbier car, has a really good proportion both front and rear, and I really like this vent piece in the front fender, just adding to the width. You can tell that the front is wider than the rear, looks a little odd if you're driving behind the car from the back. However, it's a pretty unique design. In back, you're going to see more sharp body lines flowing towards the LED taillights, and just like up front, they play a similar dance. You can see all the lights doing their thing. Then if I go ahead and hit unlock, you can see that sequential turn signal, and then the red up above. We also have a small lip spoiler finished off in gloss black. Audi badge is beneath that, then the backup camera is right underneath that. You're going to see the RS3 logo on the far side, and then some trim all throughout the rear bumper with more parking sensors, your reflectors. You can see that cutting through the entire center. Then we have a dual exhaust with two huge oval shaped tips, and then a pretty nice looking diffuser with some fins right in the center. Just like in front, you got a pretty aggressive rear end with some good width and some really nice sharp lines all throughout it. and it really comes together to be one sporty looking sedan. Moving on to the key fob, we have lock, unlock, and your trunk release, then the RS badge on the backside. Of course, we do have a proximity key. You can keep it locked and the key fob in your pocket, and whenever you grab the door handle, it's going to automatically unlock. So this interior gets the black Nappa leather along with honeycomb stitching, finish off in all the red. Taking a look at the door panel now, you can see how it's finished in black. We do have black alcantara throughout the insert of the door, some nice silver trim up above with ambient lighting, your release handle, lock and unlock, 2 different settings for memory seating, as well as your grab handle, all the window and mirror controls, some vinyl material with a little bit of rubber for the armrest. Then you're going to see the red stitching. We have a Bang & Olufsen audio system, trunk release, a little bit of storage down below, and then illuminated RS3 logo on the door sill. The door also projects RS on the ground at night, which is a really cool touch. And then you're going to see the power controls for the seats. You have lumbar support, a manual leg rest as well, and a beautiful design for the smooth leather. I absolutely love the contrast stitching with the red. You can see the bucket design with the small back and rear bolsters. Has a really nice design. You got RS up on the top, even black alcantara on the edges, and these are single piece backs. Super comfortable, really cool premium looking seats. And then we have a round steering wheel with perforated black leather. And then now sitting inside the 2024 Audi RS3, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, you can see the tach on the left with your fuel and gear, speedometers on the right side, and then all sorts of information is right in the center. You can scroll up and down, left and right using this wheel and these arrows. So if I go ahead and scroll through right here, you can see driver's assistance, a few more things like trip information will all come up. And then scrolling right, you can see audio information, phone integration, and then nav. Now very cool, if you toggle the view icon, you get that virtual cockpit where you get a much larger screen, and of course when you go into map, you get a full screen map, which is really cool to see. Now you also have a page icon over here. If I go ahead and tap it, you can see trip computer. You can also go into sport displays, toggle all sorts of different information that you'd like to see in this screen. So I really like what you can do, and you can also do a reduce view. Now on the right side of the steering wheel, we have the RS icon. Toggling this, you get a really cool gauge cluster with of course performance settings on the left side, power and torque on the right side, and you also have a few different designs. So you have individual performance and then the torque rear. This is how you can do basically drifting in this car, making it rear wheel drive. And then of course individual, you're able to adjust how you'd like everything to be laid out. If I go back out of here, RS performance, you're also able to adjust a few things in here. So really cool the way everything is laid out in this car. And I can go back into the normal mode. You're going to see steering wheel mounted paddle shifters as well. Stalk on the right side is for all the windshield wipers, and then the left stalk you can see for turn signals as well as cruise control down below. On the far left side we have your headlight controls, and then some of this nice matte carbon fiber and piano black. We have some edges along the dashboard with those air vents, heads-up display, and then just a black rubber material on the top of the dash. More air vents, more of this satin carbon fiber, which I believe is new for 2024. And then this is basically like any Audi system. So it's touchscreen, you have all sorts of different information. Pretty nice the way everything's laid out. If I go under vehicle now, you're able to adjust a few things. The Audi Drive Select, you can see your 3 standard modes, and then of course back into those RS modes. We also have the RS monitor, which is really neat. You're able to view different temperatures within the car, G-force meter, and then all of your tire pressure. In here you're also going to see air conditioning, lights, visibility, favorites, things like that. Then we have shortcuts on the left side where you're able to toggle quite a lot. And then something really cool, if we go back to the home screen and go under settings, you can actually adjust your display. Now this is a really neat design for the virtual cockpit right now. So we're in the RS Sport, we like the circle gauges. The normal version, you can have it in here. If we go ahead and change that, you get this hockey stick looking design right now. So if I toggle from view, you can see how that changes in the different designs. So pretty cool the way that's set up, and then of course that was for our RS. So pretty neat how you're able to go between 3 different designs and really change it however you'd like. Now if I go ahead and push the car into reverse, you get a nice backup camera, parking sensors pop up. You also have the parking as well, it can help you do that, and then a few settings within that. And going back into park. So underneath all of that is our climate controls. Air conditioning controls right in the center. You can adjust how you'd like that. We have the fan speed right here, and then all of your different temperatures. We have heated seats, the off icon, a few different defrost. Then down below, we have a drive select. So this is how you can easily toggle for the normal 3 modes, and then of course, you can go into the RS mode if needed. We have hazards, the parking and steering, 2 USB ports, wireless charging, piano black all throughout the center, and then a cool volume toggle, just like an old iPod Nano. You can also see the electronic parking brake, 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage, and then a vinyl material for your armrests with the red stitching, and of course it opens up with a little bit of storage space. Taking a look at the glove box, it's as you would expect, pretty good sized bucket. And then one last look at this new interior. Pretty sporty in here, really good use of materials for the most part. Great seats to sit in. Up top, we have a black headliner. We have a manual sunshade that you can open and close regardless if the glass is open itself. And then up on top, you're gonna see dome light controls along with that sunroof mode. Thin mirror with your garage door buttons underneath. Moving on to the rear seat space, grabbing the door and opening it up. Just like in front, you have the same materials with a little bit of the plastic, black alcantara, the padded rubber, along with the stitching, ambient lighting as well. And then you're gonna see all the same smooth Nappa leather, the cool quilted leather stitching design. This can seat 3 people back here. And in the center, if we open this down, you have a nice armrest along with 2 cup holders, and these seats fold down in 3 separate sections. So there is a handle back here I can pull this entire piece down, which is pretty cool to gain access into the trunk and still have 2 people sitting comfortably. You're also going to notice we have 2 air vents, 2 USB plugs down below, a little bit of a temperature control, and then storage on the back side of these seats. So now sitting in the back seat of the Audi RS3 at 5'11", honestly my head has just enough room to sit comfortably. Seats don't recline, but they're at a good angle to where I can actually fit here nicely. And with the driver's seat at my height, my knees have about 2 inches and my feet fit well as well. So surprisingly, for being a small car, this is smaller than the BMW M3, of course, about 25 grand cheaper as well, option for option. But this is pretty comfortable, got a good little armrest, nice windows all around. So for being a family sedan, even on the smaller side, it's nice to see it's genuinely practical back here and you don't really feel cramped. Moving on to the trunk space, just double tapping the key fob, it's gonna automatically pop open, and you have a pretty good sized trunk in here with a flat load floor. I really like you can grab this handle and open it up, and there's actually hidden storage space all in here surrounding the battery, along with a little bit of tire changing kits. You can see how the seats are gonna fold down with the far left one open. You're gonna see a little bit of storage and a 12 on that side, and you even get a grocery hook up on here. And if we take a look at how they do fold nice and flat, giving you plenty of storage up in front and a good size opening into the trunk as well. All right guys, setting off now. In the Audi RS3, this engine has a really unique design. Of course, the tone of it and the responsiveness of it is really nice. The transmission, lightning quick. And you can hear the turbo just a little bit. That is a really cool touch that I didn't expect. But as far as normal driving, so if I tone the car back down into normal or in comfort mode, automatic, one thing I really like with the new RS3, it is really refined and comfortable. You don't hear any wind noise or road noise. It is a nicely refined premium car, and with these seats, they're incredibly comfortable. It's a really good place to be for normal driving. I also like one touch of a button, you can go into all your fun modes and everything and have a lot of fun. So on a few sweepers, let's have a little bit of fun. So the brakes definitely work really well as you hit them. Plenty of power. I love when you let off the gas, the car kind of jolts forward and back a little bit, like there's so much resistance with the engine, and it's so responsive. As soon as you do anything, the car just does what you want. Visibility is also really good in the car. You can just see around with no issues. I don't see anything wrong with that. Over your right shoulder, good view. Left shoulder, same sort of deal. So it's honestly an easy car to maneuver. We'll slow down for these bumps so I don't scratch it up. Especially in this mode, the suspension is really stiff. You can definitely tell that in this car. Turning circle isn't the best. It's a little on the big side, I would say, even though I did just make that. But you can tell, being, you know, more of an all-wheel drive car, it has some of those characteristics. Man, we're still running in the engine, so I'm not going to be redlining it just yet. But you can tell there is so much response and power. Man, this car is almost like twitchy in a good way. Just the response of it, it really does exactly what you want to do. And I think my favorite thing, like I said, when you toggle back down to comfort mode, it really feels like a refined Audi, which for the price point, you know, it better feel really nice and special. Only complaints would be, I think this looks a little cheap. The top of the dash is just like shiny rubber that's kind of squishy. I would really like, given it has Nappa leather, if this was leather, same with the upper parts of the doors. I think that would go a long way, making the interior feel really, really good. It's pretty darn nice in here, just that's the one thing, because you see it so easily. And then my only other complaint, like I kind of mentioned, the steering, I'm not quite sold on it yet. I know some people don't like electronic power steering. When I bought my Supra, a lot of people hated that. However, when you drive the Supra, it's like, you know, that car steers amazing. This car, I'm not sold on it. I like the Supra steering. I like the old S3 steering, and of course, old school mechanical steering too. So I don't know. I just feel like it sometimes maybe feels loose. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I almost feel like the front turns and then the back follows. So it's just a little weird to me right now. I need more seat time, I guess. But comment below, what do you guys think of the steering? All right, my perspective. Short shifting at 5,000, giving it a decent amount of throttle, but not quite crazy just yet. This thing's quick. I am really excited. Once we run it in more, get to about 500 miles or so, this thing is quick. It packs a punch. You know, like we said, 0 to 60 has been tested at like 3.3. That's the best I could ever do in my GTR on the streets, just given spinning and the tire and road condition. So already I am really, really looking forward to the performance. This is a serious performance car. I'm an M3 fan. One day I want one of them. However, this thing undercuts the M3 by a lot when you look at price point, all-wheel drive, to obviously this Quattro version. So it is really cool to see the performance you get from mid-60s. It's a heck of a lot of car for the money, I think. And my favorite thing so far is the fact that when you go to comfort mode, normal mode, just relax in the car, it is really refined. It's a big step up from our old S3. And of any car I've ever owned, my wife's ever owned, this is the most refined, luxurious car we've ever had in the garage. So I really love how, with the suspension, how soft it is right now. I mean, this we could drive for 10 hours straight, no big deal, and just be in absolute comfort. So I think Audi did a fantastic job just making this a high-end car without being a $100,000 car. So I really, really enjoy that. It's just nice. The seats fit me so well. They're so comfortable. The leg rest and everything. It is a great place to be. It feels way more roomy than the previous generation. I really can't complain with the comfort aspects. So now going into the fun modes, the RS Performance. Like I said, the steering I'm just not sold on. I don't know what it is. I know this car is a little weird how the front tires and wheels are wider than the rear. So it's kind of got a interesting offset with that design. So I don't know. I think the S3 handles more tight. This steering wheel feels a little big too. The S3 steering wheel is so much smaller. My Super steering wheel is so much smaller. You know, I missed the flat bottom. So that's my two performance, I guess, complaints. Just the handling, the steering, I don't know, there's something about it I'm not quite sold on. It handles well, like it takes the turns, it does all the good things you want. Just the steering feel, the way the car reacts to when you steer is a little weird to me. That is then it. Ooh, unique sound to it for sure. But that is it for the 2024 Audi RS3. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. And if you like the new RS3, consider subscribing, because we're going to be doing some mods to this, playing with it, doing all sorts of good things to this new car. I'll see you all in the next video.